Narendra Modi has spoken to the French President Emmanuel Macron. Prime Minister Modi tweeting that he's had a very good conversation with his friend President Macron and that he exchanged views on efforts for peaceful resolution of conflicts in Ukraine and in West Asia, reaffirming commitment to further strengthen the India-France strategic partnership. As Prime Minister Modi sharing his views on the Ukraine situation with Macron, who of course was there along with Zelensky and other leaders of European nations a few days back in Washington. They discussed an end to the Ukraine war, and Macron was there, one of the top leaders from Europe, along with Meloni of Italy. The German Chancellor was there, and they discussed a possible end. So Macron discussing with the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Modi exchanging his views on the efforts for a peaceful resolution of conflicts in Ukraine and also in West Asia. A reference perhaps to the situation in Israel and Gaza, reaffirming India's commitment to further strengthen the India-France strategic partnership. Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, and my colleague will be joining us live on the story. In fact, a few days back, President Macron also congratulated the Prime Minister when he spoke to him on Independence Day. That was a message that he sent out, not really a call, a message, when he hoped that the strategic partnership between India and France would continue to deepen towards 2047 and beyond. The French President had said in that tweet that he fondly recalled welcoming his friend Modi to France in February and looks forward to further deepening the strategic partnership between India and France. Last month, the French Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs of France, Jean-Noël Barrot, had also highlighted that France and India are united by trust, are driven by a shared ambition, and in that spirit, both leaders have connected once again. And Abhishek is joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, interesting set of calls. Putin called on Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi speaking to Macron on a possible end to the war in Ukraine now.
Ranjan, so this one fact, one geopolitical fact, so to say, which is the centrality of India in all these negotiations taking place. Now, look at the geography. We are in South Asia, and the war is happening in Europe, and the Trump administration is going hammer and tongs against us unfairly so. And yet you have world leaders calling us. We have had Prime Minister speaking to Russian President Vladimir Putin. We have had Prime Minister speaking to Brazil's Lula. We have had Prime Minister speaking to South African President. We have had Prime Minister speaking to Macron. Now we have had Prime Minister speaking to Zelensky also. One of the few world leaders, apart from Trump, who can speak to both the sides in the Europe war. So I think this should be a strong message to the Washington D.C. establishment that for all their dissing of India and all their villainizing of India, the fact of the matter is we have a stature. Prime Minister Modi has a stature. He's seen as a statesman by every one of the world leaders who are speaking to him, and that is the reason why we are fully involved. So I think this bodes well in terms of India's contribution to the overall peace process. Not the first time over the last 2 years we have remained engaged on both the sides, and the fact that Prime Minister has traveled to Kiev, Prime Minister has traveled to Moscow in the same period, something which even Trump has not been able to do till now. Biden never intended to do it, and Macron cannot do it. Macron did, in fact, but the Germans, for example, have not done it. So I think in that sense, this is a significant milestone insofar as India's journey in the geopolitical firmament is concerned, and this is a moment where we should be seeing this as an occasion where our stature is being acknowledged.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Abhishek. Getting some